Lewis, could you come in here for a second?
I could have used a little more cowbell.
Time ago, I can still remember how that Bitcoin made me smile. And I knew if I had my chance, I could make those altcoins dance, and maybe I'd be moonbound for a while. But August lows made me shiver. With every dip the charts deliver. Bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take one more step. So bye-bye, Bitcoin bull run vibes. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of hope? And do you have faith in the Satoshi gospel if the white paper tells you so? Do you believe in pump and dump? Can trade and save your mortal rump? And can you teach me how to short real slow? Well, I saw the market's cruel twist as profits vanished in the mist. The charts turned cold and gray. Fear crept in to stay. Teenage bronc and buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew I was out of luck. The day the bull run died, FOMO lit my fire, greed stoked the flame. Now I'm counting losses, singing bearish shame. Uncertainty looms like a storm's dark tide. Is the top a memory or a hope denied? So helter-skelter in a summer swelter. The birds flew off with a fallout shelter. 8 miles high and falling fast, it landed foul on the grass. The players tried for a forward pass, with the jester on the sidelines in a cast. Now the halftime air was sweet perfume, while the sergeants played a marching tune. We all got up to dance, oh, but we never got the chance. So bye-bye, Bitcoin bull run vibes. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
The only thing missing from the song is a little bit of cowbell. 4 years of college to learn how to do the cowbell. Nonpartisan binary cowbell studies.
Trapped in bad dreams, oh, Bitcoin.
Just got mine brewed up.
Market crash, my coins went low. So too soon I lost my way. Bad dreams, bad
Well, that would screw up my hopes and dreams. That would muck up my plans. We got 9 people, concurrent viewers right now. Can we make this go to 11? Can we get it to 11? This one likes to go to 11. There we got 11. We're ready. Hit the button, Sean.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
We got to turn the lights on, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead. Let's just skip the introductions. We know who we are. I'll do it in a second. Right now, we just need a big old hug. Bring it in. Bring it in. Come on. If you need one, I'm here, baby. Come on. Come on. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. Come on. Yeah. Just let it go. Go ahead. Let it out. Let it out. Scream if you need to. Scream if you need to. It feels rough. It feels rough. It feels rough. It feels rough. Does this market make my bags look smaller? It's making my bags look smaller. I didn't want them to do it. It's mostly Bitcoin doing it. Altcoins hadn't quite taken the dive, but we're starting to see it come. Because when Bitcoin is not happy, the altcoins are not going to be happy too. Cry altcoin season all you want to, but every time Bitcoin drops, them altcoins are going to come down with it. It just happens. Now here we are with Bitcoin dominance on a very small time frame. I'm just going to start here. What's so cool about it is that we're below 60%, right? We're kind of easing toward 50 slowly but surely. And for me, I'm entertaining the idea of an altcoin season when we break 55. I'm going to say, oh, that's pretty good. This is rally zone. This is rally zone, but between 50 and 60 is possible rally zone, meaning we can dip into the rally. It looks like we're going into an altcoin season. All the boxes are being ticked. Ethereum season, ETH season, things rolling out into the bigger altcoins that we're seeing, the top 10, those top 100 market cap coins, things starting to roll into them. We're seeing that. And they're staying strong. The other ones just aren't there yet. The money hasn't rolled out of those coins into the smaller market caps, which is basically about how this game is played. So one thing that you can be thinking about if you're altcoin degens like I am in a lot of altcoins is that when you get into the smaller market caps a wee bit too early, if you go too hard too early, it takes them a while before you see anything happen because that money trickles over into it, unless there's just a bunch of hype that comes and it gets a lucky pump, which often they give back, right? But eventually those small market caps will have the money flowing over into them. That comes a little later in the cycle, and we want to be prepared for that. Gosh darn it. But we don't would be too heavy in them. Your layer ones, your DeFi projects, your exchange coins. Actually, the exchange coins, I've got to say, looking at the history on them, they've done pretty gosh darn good all around across the board. Park that put that in a feather in your cap there and sit on it and think about that. Any drops on those exchange coins, and maybe for a next cycle, think a little bit more heavy on those exchange coins. Even the ones that turn into their own layer 1 or layer 2, doing pretty gosh darn good. BNB being a prime example of one, started as an exchange coin and turned into another coin. BVS being, that's more of an exchange coin on Kronos. You've seen Kronos hype. 8 cents to darn near almost 30. Of course, they're giving some back. So Bitcoin dominance still dropping here on the 1 hour. Why altcoins going up? Why altcoins not going up? Why altcoins dumping like a mofo? coming down and testing this trend line that we didn't really want it to test, man. Now we got to zoom out, make sure we got our line drawn halfway decent, you know, and I gave it wiggle room. We broke it. I'm here on the 4 hours. Let's go with the 4 hour. You got a lot of junk on your chart. I do have a lot of junk on my chart. I would erase it all, but I'll just draw it right back. This junk helps me kind of figure out what we may or may not be doing. I guess we can get rid of some of the junk. This was the little dotted line over here. 886 fib is what it should be. Strong reversal happens there. All right, so I'm sticking with what we had over here for my trend lines and coming to these candle bodies right down here. I can drop you a little bit, line you up a little bit better there. But basically, that was where we were. We've been flirting with, we've been poking holes in it. We started poking holes in it here. That makes it a little weak. First sign of weakness on the trend line. It's worth noting and making a mental note of that. Second time, oh well, we still got back in there. Respecting it, it is, but it's still poking holes in it. And gradually, those holes, if we don't get away from this area, become big enough for us to fall through, which we're kind of seeing right now. So losing the trend line on our altcoins, total 3, rejected at a rejection point over here. Either way you want to look at it, 113.886 area right there, rejection. Losing our little possible support line that we would hope to have there. Now we might come back up. We could. There is some good things going on here. Some promising things for altcoins, like they're just shaking. This Friday, one thing, let's calm down for a moment and think about this. Today is Friday. It is Friday, right? It's not Thursday anymore. It's Friday. Sometimes I get confused. All right, so we're heading into the weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if we might have a surprise pump come Sunday. That usually is Sunday into Monday. That's usually what we see on these Thursday, Friday dumps. I mean, it just is in history. Maybe we'll get that. That was, is that something that we did over here? This was Sunday. No, you were pumping us last time. They were pumping us up, right? Yeah, you remember that Friday? They flipped the script on us doing the opposite play this time, looks like. Now here they pumped us up Friday and then they dumped us. And we're not back down there. We're not back down there. That was Monday, the 25th. And then they started coming up and trying to set the move. And then Thursday, they started dumping us again. Just like where was it? Around Thursday, we leveled off and started going up. I just think that's kind of interesting. Here was a Thursday. That was a Thursday dump. Friday on into Friday. Then what happened through Saturday, we started coming up a little bit to Sunday, and then they dumped us again. So there are a lot of games. I wouldn't trust any of the moves I'm seeing totally around here. Here was oh man, this was, remember this week in July? Yeah, we were up here, started dumping on a Monday, and we got a little something on a Thursday. Thought, oh man, they're going to pump us into the weekend maybe, or at least to the beginning of it. No, they just went ahead and dumped us into the weekend all the way to Saturday. Scared the bejesus out of everybody. And then what happened? Sunday night we start pumping, dump Monday through Tuesday, and then we started recovering on up to the next weekend when they started playing with us. The thing to not do is get panicked and start making major decisions, especially on a Friday. Today, there were several things that are going on. We're near the end of the month, not totally end of the month. That's going to happen this weekend. And we've also got, we had options starting to expire here on this Friday, last Friday of the month here. And also futures expiring. That's across the market. Legacy and of course in crypto here with the CME and all that stuff. When they say futures in Bitcoin and in crypto, they're talking about the standard type futures, not the perpetual futures that has dominated our space. They're the ones that actually expire. What we're used to when we're playing on our exchanges, they don't ever expire. Yeah, they got a new little trick to that. But the CME does expire. They're not perpetual futures, and well, things happen. And here we are at the 4 hour, flirting with losing our 200 moving average. We still got our other moving averages up here that kind of, I'm not going to say it acts like a magnet, but I'm saying that we could find ourselves floating back up there. Doesn't mean that we're going to get back above the trend line. It could still get bearish, but anyway, as long as we do get up through there, you know, you got some ideas to de-risk if that's what you're trying to do. Wouldn't be the worst thing. We are heading into September, and September gets hairy. It's got a reputation for being a hairy month. So does August, really. But we can't fight the hopium that we see in the market because the market makers are so good about getting us into the hopium. Getting them little altcoin rallies, and it doesn't help that you got everybody calling altcoin season like every Monday of the week, and then changing their mind, getting scared by the Friday of that week a lot of times. So I have not called altcoin season. I've said rally. I keep emphasizing that, and I keep showing my argument why I think that we're in just a rally phase. Can lead to an altcoin market. Don't get me twisted. But it's just kind of silly to call it preemptive because that makes you want to go in hard and I'm get ready for altcoin season, and then you get something like this today, and you're like, oh, I kind of bought too high, didn't I? There's going to be discount prices, and the smart people are going to get them, and I'm going to sit here and just kind of sweat it out and take Xanax and go to counseling, and oh man. I'm not liking my choices right now. I hope that's not you. I hope that's not you, but that is a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this market right now that just don't know and get caught up. And even if you do know, you still get caught up because the smaller time frames tell you something totally different than the bigger time frames. The bigger time frames are the ones that matter, and they're the ones wanting to, hey man, Bitcoin ain't looking too happy. I can't really think of very many times when, I mean, it's happened where altcoins explode when Bitcoin's just kind of lagging. Usually going sideways, not usually dropping. Again, here we are, looking at Bitcoin, trying to figure out what Bitcoin's trying to do. And she just keeps stuck in making lower lows. Now here on the 8-hour or the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, we got this 800 moving average coming in. Not many people use it. I do. It's kind of like having a 200 moving average on this. It's a strong indicator where we can find some support, and we need to hold that. Now, some other pluses to this. Let me turn off some of these other guys over here. I turned off the wrong guys. I turned off the wrong guys. I got too many moving averages over here. Where are you? All right, so I know all these lines. Let's go ahead and let's clean this chart up some. We've lost these areas, so they're not really that important to us. We got new areas to look at now. This one might still stick. We'll leave that there. That was the area that we're looking for. I think it's an 886 retracement. We got to go double check that. All right, so oh man, we just got to clear this whole thing off so we can actually see what the heck is going on. Now that one, I want to leave that one because that could be a support line on it's a very faint one. It's not very strong. But it is where we are right now, so let's see if we get something out of it, right? This guy, you can make the argument that that is also coming down here and could possibly act as a support area. That would be the bump and run scenario that we'd be hoping for, where maybe we start bumping from this area on the 4-hour. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Maybe we spend going into the night, Friday night, and then start coming in the wee mornings of early hours of Saturday, get a bump on our altcoins. Now, at this point in the game, we might see that. I think that would make a lot of people happy. Start chasing them altcoins on the weekend like they want you to, so that they can do something sinister to you the next week. Let's see if there's anything to this idea as far as our indicators and the budgets. And there's some, okay, there might be some slight bullish divergence in there on the RSI, but we've not confirmed our bottom yet, so we can't really make too much out of that. There's some trying to form on the momentum wave and everything else, but we've not confirmed bottom yet. But we are at an area where maybe, according to the 4-hour time frame, Bitcoin might chill out for a little bit. Also underneath this, on this particular chart, a few days ago on the night stream, I did a GAN fan, and we are approaching one of those areas of support, and this is one we don't want to lose, because losing this one on the GAN fan signifies crap. But this is local, And there's been a lot of things said about the $108,000 area, because that is, I believe, our yearly. Was that our yearly open? I believe that was our yearly open. Or the high that we had back in February and January was through these areas over here. There we go. What did, that was December and then January. Our January, that was 109 there. But these areas correspond with our recent highs, and we want that to hold. I'm going to draw a little line right here on that top. This was in December, our December high, not our January one. We draw it on December. I got a nice solid candle there. And, oh, snap. I need to make you a different color so I don't think that you're a Fibonacci. And we've not reached that little booger there. Notice in January that our candle bodies were lower, so there we go. But also, we could entertain the idea of maybe copying this line. And oh, snap, that didn't copy you at all. That just moved you. I want to hit the rewind. Let me copy you. We almost forgot how to copy. It's Control Alt C. I forgot how to copy. It's been so long. It'll come back. Or we can just draw a new gosh darn line. I'll take one from the very wick right there. Alt J is what I use to draw these little lines. This is the Tuppy Tub in me. This is our GAN-pan that we pulled right here. So our candle body is holding at that top one. That's cool. We're getting a wick where it was wicking down, and then we got that support there. Currently, what is that? That is right around 106. Okay, that's one way to look at it. Here's another way to look at it, and I kind of prefer this way, this method. Let me get some of these guys off of here. You see that little green line there at 105? Yeah, I think we're definitely headed there. Just a slow burn. And hopefully we'll go up before we get there, because we've been basically just steady, straight down. I'm not straight down, but just a strong march down. Not much as far as relief at all, except, you know, the retest of the trend line and one little daily candle. One day we had enough to fake everybody out, get us hopeful that we found the bottom. And here we are coming lower. So how do we need to look at this? We got an M top. That's a possible harmonic. Now the good thing about this is that these M tops, if you're looking at it from the harmonic perspective, well, it is, once it plays out, it can make a bullish pattern. So once we find the bottom of this, not just a measure move of this, although it could line up. That's the measure move's taking us down around 100,000. And we talked about that idea a long time ago. It's easy to talk about the ideas and look for things in the future. It's another thing to actually execute on those ideas and do the things need to do. And I struggle with that, because ideally, I mean, the hindsight, and you look, clearly we should have sold up here around 124,000, just got out and took cash. We can always look in hindsight, but when we're in it and things are pumping up there, that ain't what we're doing so much, is it? Knowing the closer we get to 125, 130, we can have a 30% drop, and that would take us back down to the $100,000 area. It's very possible. You can also look at this as a 5 wave that we've had to the upside, and a lot of people would. And this would be our little 5th wave. It just petered out and didn't get much higher. Distribution ideas. Double top. Anyway, but if we are in that 5 wave, there should be an ABC correction, and we would look for something along the lines of this, where we could get a little relief before we come down to these bottom areas. That, I mean, that's common, and so we're, for this idea, we keep our eyes open for that, and then that's where we can make a move to short the market or something like that, if that's what we want to do. That would be a good place. I've been waiting for that. It's just not got here yet. It feels like it will never come, right? It just feels like we just keep going down, down, down. And these whales might do that this weekend. They might drive us hard down into Sunday and try to scare us, take us to liquidation points, and just really try it. But this green line that I've got there, oh man, did you do that? Do you guys see that? Market cipher over here on the daily. Just a few days after giving us the green dot and having us go up, it gave us a red dot here. Now there is this little green dot showing in here signifying the bullish divergence is starting to form, but that doesn't mean that we're going to react right now to it, right? Money flow on the daily coming into the red, not what we want to see. When we start seeing it come down, that's not usually a good sign, especially if the other things are coming down. The warning signs have been here. I've been shouting them out, and everybody else been calling to, not everybody else, but a lot of people, a lot of the flag chasers and things like that. You know, this little bump up that we had here to 16,000, we're calling for 130 or something crazy like that. Got everybody caught, you know, it was those kind of ideas that were getting everybody caught up in there. Of course, those people don't admit it now. They're just like, well, the market tanked, and they're starting to blame everybody else for being bullish over there and can't see that they were part of the problem. That was one of the places I was saying, hey man, you need to be taking profits. You need, because this is a Friday, so don't go too crazy. You need to be getting paid. And then we lost it, man. Perfect textbook bearish retest. The market's doing. The TA is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, especially when you zoom out. When you zoom out and look at what it's doing exactly what it says it's going to do. Let's get a little bit of a hopium here, though, right? Oh man, we got eyeballs here. What's that? Let's get a little bit of hopium. Let's see what Elliot thinks is going on. Elliot, and you can't. you turn that one in. Okay. This was a 5-wave structure over here with that ABC correction. It is now a 1-2 wave. This is our 3. Actually, I think he's going to change this as we go higher. The 3-wave will actually involve probably to what he's calling a 5. Yeah, we're deep in it. We're going to Elliot now to get his idea, but it's a little hopium. That this was a 4-wave and our wave up is our 5, and there might be a little correction here, but we're still working. We're still working on going up. I do not think that this is the top of the market. I am not going to be making those calls that this was the top. There's several arguments behind that. It doesn't make sense for one. And if they get me, and it is, you know, I you know, on YouTube, I'll say, yes, I was calling for higher. I'm not going to sit here, well, nailed the top. Who called that top? Even though I was giving you warning signs, but I ain't going to say I called the top, because I didn't. Only the grifters are going to do that. And they do all the time, all the time. All right, so sucks that we lost that, but we're still in a nice curve. Ichimoku Cloud on the weekly, still very happy, still within reason. The only thing that sucks is that the weekly has been giving us these indicators for a while, couple of weeks. It's been showing these signs, right? Still got money flowing the green. The one that you've been hearing me bitch about is this one. We've been watching this one for a while, ever since she started turning pale over here. And at that point in time, was right up there at the top area before we broke the trend line to start making bigger moves. I made some moves. I got to change my rules to make bigger moves now when I start seeing that happen on the weekly, and just roll with it. It seems to be that correct. Anyway, we got our official bearish cross here on the weekly, and now everybody else is starting to pay attention to it now. It's like, and it doesn't just walk itself off that easy. It doesn't. All right, so let me make my arguments for what we got going on, and then we'll come down to a little bit of the local time and look at our possible local bottom that we're at. Let's see if it can hold. But this is it. So when we're in this nice parabolic move that we're making, here's my argument. Here's my story. With the big parabolic move, which looked like he was doing that and lost something, right? Anyway, we are making a nice rounding shape here, and there are usually so many steps that happen. We're looking for about a 5-step if we're lucky to get that. Hopefully with a blow off top. Don't always get that. Didn't get it last time. We got a double top. They decided to take it sideways instead of up. Smart move for them, I guess. Those little ETF people. Anyway. From the very lows to the very highs, there is also this idea that I'm paying very close attention to. This one is the strongest one. If we are truly in the bull market, bouncing off of our 236 Fibonacci area, this red line on the bigger picture could give us that bounce that we're looking for. The unfortunate thing is that area is coming in all the way down here at $99,500. There's another one which we could still technically come down to, and I don't like to talk about this one that much because it's too gosh darn scary, and I'm not prepared for this one. Down here at 83,000, if we want to come a slow burn down here. Now imagine this happens and how long it might take us to do that, and that just makes it look like, oh man, this fall's going to suck again. It's going to be like last summer or something, and I don't like that idea. That was the wrong one to go with, wasn't it? We know the bars patterns what I'm looking for. We're going to take this example right over here. Just take that whole thing there. Put that at the top and say we can not quite to that area here. But it does come down. It doesn't have to touch it. It just got to make a higher low. It's just got to respect a trend line that it's had before. See how that kind of works right there? What if we do come down to 92? There's an argument. And we can bounce and then go for higher highs. It would suck, but time-wise, that's taking us into early November. Bouncing around from 90,000 back up to 102, somewhere through that, all through Rectember, not October, definitely not October, and then November, and we get some kind of delayed reaction and then start going for a higher high, and there's our bull run. That would suck. That would suck. But that's on the table. Man. Wish I never brought this chart up. That's on the weekly. I'm going to keep this one. Let me mark this one so that I will not mess with it. Actually, I'm going to put you down here in another section so I won't grab you and mess with it. I want to keep that chart the way it is and refer to that one. Let me get back over. Okay, so we got that idea. Now I need to get to another chart. Same ideas. Parabolic run, right? Same ideas. Same exact fib areas and everything right here. We're looking at that idea. All right, now I want to look at the local area. The local legs. Let me get these things off of here. We'll look at this one from 74,000. Take that one into account. We lost our 236 there. That was at the M top. That was in the confirmed. Right down here, 105.6. Right in the area that we're at right now is our more local 382 fib. Now, I can expect that we'll get something here. Even if it is only us bouncing up to retest areas before coming down lower, which could happen if we're looking and following the weekly charts, right? All right, is this paintbrush not going to paint? So we might find ourselves come down here to 105, 105, 697 is what I've got on, what is this, KuCoin. And then we might come up, retest this, and then roll over, touch our 0.5 or 618 down here, 93. That could be exactly. So I am trying to de-risk as we go up and then look for possible shorts over here if we can ever get back here. I've been waiting. We've already bumped that area once. Hopefully we've not already knocked it out of the dirt, but we haven't come down here yet. So that's the game plan that I'm kind of looking at here on the bigger time frames and hoping that I can execute that. And if for some reason we bounce off of here, because we can, and get our, start working to our higher high. If that happens too, all the de-risking, well, I can flip it around, but I would rather be safer than sorry. Going through September into October, knowing that they're not the funnest months for Bitcoin until the end, toward the end of October. It's just how it normally works out. How you guys feeling about this market? What do you guys think about it? Can you guys see everything over here? We're in the lounge section here, and the screen's not as big as the normal show that we have. But okay, so that's from here, but we still have another little local area to look at, okay? And it's what we're currently doing here, which might be a harmonic. It looks kind of big. It looks like it might be more of this one. I would be looking for, if we look at this as being an M top. What did you give us? That's yeah, I don't think so. All right, so let's come down here to yet one more other chart that I haven't done, and still got a lot of these same ideas here. And now we're going to go from this area right here, 98. See that one? This little guy right here. Draw a horizontal line there. Get rid of some of these. I'm just going to get rid of the lines. Well, I like you there, though. What I'm going to do is pull a fib from this area, this low, when we were at 99, up to where we are now. And to the very top that we had there. And I believe this is the 618 that Brackett's just talking about right here. And yeah, it can hold. So for local, we want to expire all of our local chances before, you know, we come down to the bigger ones. Just to play it in the between. This is how we're playing it in between. But the bigger ones have kind of spoken that we've got a good chance to come down, right? It's just, it's usually some ups and downs, and as we can see over here, more downs than all the ups, but it can help us catch these areas to the up so that we're not taken by surprise again. Because a lot of people, when we start getting these retests, the market pulls bullish, and you got a lot of the YouTubers out there encouraging it. Go ahead and buy the dip, go it, get it, chase it, and then you get people chasing with flags or whatever else. The market gets too bullish on these green days that don't last when we're in a correction. And you see that a lot, and then it looks like we're recovering. Buy, and we still got more to go. But it's the bigger time frames that will help us get these areas, not the smaller ones. Not trying to find the reversal on the 1 minute, trying to find the reversal on the weekly and the daily. You can watch it play out on the 1 minute. All right, so we got that idea. And are we bouncing there? Coming down to the 4 hour, and again, not only on the 4 hour do we have the 800 moving average, we've also got our 618. And I know she's flirting below it. Not great, but this could be just the market makers faking out. We got to wait for confirmations. That's why you hear that so much. Wait for a candle confirmation. We open up a new candle down here. We'll know in 2 hours and 25 cents. If we open up a fresh new candle under here, meaning we start our candle top like this, starts down here, not good. If we can close this here and we open our candle and it's here or in this vicinity, more hopeful. So in about 2 hours, we'll start getting those signs as we get our little daily close coming in. But Ichimoku Cloud, she don't look so happy. She look like she can still continue this downturn, even if we do get a little bounce. So preemptively, I'm going to find out what levels that, assuming that we got a bottom, it's a little risky. I'm probably not going to draw them out, but I'm going to look. And I got to see us get past a 0.5, and that's about 110. So 110, 111 might be coming back up there. Might not even make it that far. If we come up around through here, we might be trying to bottom out, do something like that. If we come up through this area, I'm still looking for those ideas and some kind of lower high, but I've still got it in my back burner. Getting rejected at that 0.5 could lead us down to some of these other areas and below, which we know is possibility, right? So my plan is to try to de-risk a little bit or look for shorts. I'm stuck in perpetual longs right now. They're small. If I can get out of those, I'll look for a short over here. I've already had to get stopped out of the ones I was hoping would do something good. We just didn't get to any. Didn't happen for me, as I'm sure it didn't happen for a lot of people. And there are a lot of people that were shorting from some of these good areas. And here's the thing about it, though: even if you did short from there, and it takes a while to let those things play out. How many of them still are in those shorts? Because usually when you get something coming down and got something like this, some of the people, the people who've been doing it for a while, they can hold on to those trades, right, and manage them and catch all this move. But a lot of people, they've already got out of it. So let's take a look now at the liquidation heat map, and I'll just go ahead and we'll refresh this one. Refresh. This is on the 48 hour, so I like to take a look at several different ones over here. I like the 12 hour, I usually use it, but we'll start with the 48 hour. And there was liquidity down here at the areas that we just came to, meaning that there was a lot of stop losses and things like that. It looks like it's trying to bounce up. Are you sure that you're... Why are we down at a low, but you're saying we're at 108? Something's not right here. Let's come to the 12 hour. Let's go with that one. get this little guy updated here. You're still saying that, okay. So it's saying it already got the liquidity that was down here at 107.2. Are we bouncing now? Am I just not seeing it because I'm on the 4 hour? Oh, we are a little bit. Maybe. Looks just like it did here. Looks like it did here. Looks like it did over here before we came back down too, right? So you can't really trust it other than looking at the areas of support that we just pointed out and hoping that they catch, which there are here. Let's see, we got some bullish divergence here, a little bit, yeah. More so on the RSI here on the 15 minutes. So, but we see that other places. We're at an area 618 local pull. Cross our fingers that we can get something from this. Come back up here to 111, 112 or something like that. Let's hope. But the whales will probably continue to play with us over this weekend. Now, when I was pulling that, I was trying to show something else. We got our 618 there, but going back to the idea, now I would love to see us bounce here, but here's one argument why I don't think that this would hold, why I think that this might not hold, because we're doing an M pattern, it's kind of like a harmonic pattern, which the way that I'm going to draw it out, this is not my shtick yet. I'm still studying a lot of this stuff and trying to get these down, but it overlaps with what I already do on fibs. Maybe you should do it the way you already do with fibs. In short, basically, by both methods, it's signifying that we be coming down to about 101. And from here, we can try to form a bigger bottom pattern. So if I had to make a call based on just local from where we were at our latest low in mid-June, when we came down to about 98,000, scared the bejesus out of everybody, and everybody was calling for the bear market. I'm not calling for the bear market just yet. But if we were in the bear market, we wouldn't know just yet. But we do have one confirmed sign here that could be. But you know what? You also had an ugly M top over here that confirmed, and then look what happened. So my hopes and dreams, and when that MACD was crossing on the weekly, that we could get a strong move into early this week. It did not happen on Monday, and I started seeing that it wasn't going to happen, and just happened to accept the reality that we are on a confirmed downtrend, a confirmed correction. Distribution happening here. We made a higher high. It didn't quite get our target fib. That was the first little red flag I got. Like, that's a little bit more bearish than what it should be. Are they trying? And so what they do, the cool kids call this a swing failure pattern, but you technically made a higher high. So however you want to look at it, it's a great way to get caught up. But in distribution, they do make those little higher highs. They're just not the great higher highs we're looking for. And they get everybody a chasing, and everybody expecting that new higher low to be the one that's going to make us go there, and we can all get into that game. But some of the warning signs that, hey man, that may not be playing out, is making some other kind of double top here, looking for the divergence, which was there. We're doing some Monday morning quarterback and just looking back and looking at the signs that can tell us, so that next time when we come to these situations, we know some things to look for. That's the reason I do this. Some other people are saying, look, you should have known right here. Well, why didn't you know? Or why didn't you know? Let's go back and look and explain and look for what happened. That's how we learn how to read the market, is by actually going back and reading what it said. And low to high, then high to low. And that high to low on that RSI from right here was officially divergence on a bigger time scale. And it means more on a bigger time scale, like a 4 hour. Well, I think we can safely say that we got something reversal happening there, right? I would say that one kicked in our reversal right there on the 4 hour, and we find ourselves where we are now. Only now we're starting to make some bullish divergence on the same time frame. It's very slight, but it's starting. And so if we need some hopium for this weekend, let's hope that that's it. It just has not confirmed yet, right? We got to see where we catch bottom. But if we catch bottom where we are now, then it would be making some very slight bullish divergence there. Because this bottom is coming down to this bottom. That's trending downward. And from those same areas on our RSI, it's got a little bit of a trend up. And that can be some strength to give us a little move, get us back out of this little sell area, this little bottom area, not sell area, bottom area. A lot of people are selling out of fear in this area. It's why it's called oversold areas. This is where the asset gets oversold. People sell too much here, usually because of fear. And then we can pop out of it, and then we're not fearful anymore. And then it's like, oh man, did I sell the bottom again? Yeah, so that's why these things are here, to help us not sell these bottoms and get scared. We are at areas of support right now. Best thing to do is see if they hold, and see if we can start seeing something on the smaller time frames. This is why I use these multi-time frames, because if I see something happen on the big one, those key signs telling us that we're at areas that we need to look at, I'll come down to the smaller time frames to see if we're getting a reaction. Here on the smaller time frame that I look at, which happens to be the 6 minute, 1/10 of an hour, we've got that. We got that. Now what we need to see is to take out this high. If we can take out that high, or any of these highs, it's a good sign that we're trying to put that bottom in here. And that's what I want to see happen on this Friday. I would love to see that happen. And simple trend lines also tell us that we can bump our head right up here at 110,800, or we can also work on trying to get up above there. We got a complete bearish cross trying to happen here with these bigger moving averages. I guess we can turn on those other ones. If I don't leave my moving averages on here, I forget to turn them on, and they tell me so much. They tell me so much. But I like what we're seeing here. Falling pattern, and your ones that trend to the downside like that are bullish. If this is making a megaphone type pattern, they typically have a 72% chance to break up. Measure move will take us back to retest this area over here. Hopefully we can get higher. Meanwhile, while this is happening, altcoins are none too happy. But I bet on the hour we're probably seeing a little something, right? Oh yeah, we're green on the hour because they're quick to try to do a little something. They are moving faster. That's the benefit that we're getting from Total 3 and Bitcoin dominance and all that, right? We are in an altcoin rally stage. Can turn into an altcoin season. It's got a lot of confirmations to do that. And I've got to say, for an altcoin season, looking at your altcoin backs today, does it feel like altcoin season? This is not what a real altcoin season feels like. It gets a lot better. It does feel like what you've seen some of the bigger ones, the bigger coins do. I want to take a look at some of these bigger coins on a 4-hour time scale, because that's a great one for swing trading this weekend here. And some of the ones that have been up and holding are Link, and we can see that it's not $27 anymore. Seems to be testing a 618 fib if I've got my fibs drawn. Okay, low to high. Okay, gotcha. All right, so it's just retesting this after getting rejected here. Honestly, at this point in the game, after seeing that, I would be changing my fibs, because we probably got a top in, and I'll get some of these lines off here. This is the main line we're looking at, right? And it has a nice curve. Are you trying to do something, Kirby? Moving averages look all good and strong. So at the very worst, I'd be looking for the bottom of this trend line somewhere in the $20 area if I'm looking for that. But let's do our fibs, and we'll do 2 different pulls here. We'll do a local pull. 382 is also here. Be a great place to bounce. To go higher, it would. But we might be looking at lower. Let's go ahead and take it from here. I think this one would be your more accurate information. Now let's look at this one, the 382, where the 200 moving average is coming in. For the bigger move, right? This one's already said she's had this little trend line and bearish retest on it, or if we want to draw it from down here, she's already lost this momentum. She need to correct. ABC correction, Elliot, is that what you see? Look at you. ABC correction down to where I'm looking at 21, or you even got you coming down to 17, bottom of trend line. I'll go with the bottom of the trend line idea. That's about the 0.5. That's what I got. That's what I'm going to put out there. We'll come back and argue with Elliot whenever the time needs to be. But oh man, all the ones that went up so high, now they're getting a correction. Yeah. So coulda, woulda, shoulda took some profits is what a lot of people I think are feeling on those. I made sure that I did take profit on these little suckers and put stop losses in so that they would get what I missed if we broke certain areas, and might even still do that again. If I don't know, I still got some. Yeah, there's still some positions there. All right. Oh, turkey getting sleepy. Got to come back tonight at 10:30 p.m. for our nightly stream. Right now, I'm just trying to turn Elliot. All right, what about Solana? Another strong one. How you holding Solana? We'll look at you on Coinbase. Still above 200, but she got rejected at 218, which was our target. Nailed it! There's just a 618 fib area right up there where we would get some rejections. And we did. Still nice round in shape. Still looks bullish. Moving averages still bullish. I'm just gonna put the target here without pulling the fibs out and everything. We've got 100 moving average. If we lose the 50 that we're testing here on the 4 hour, expect 195 in that area, drop below 200. However, there is this little chance that we can find support on the 50, because when we're in an uptrend, it was the 50 area. We kind of lost it with the 100, but we regained the 50. When we're on here's a better example. When we're on the moves up, right, the 50 wants to catch us. We need the 50 to catch us. That's a blue line here. Caught us here, caught us here. It needs to catch us here as well and send us to the upside. What do you say, smaller time frame? You got anything happening there? Well, I'm glad you asked. Oh, I do. So we got we got it to catch there. Great. Now you need to get past here, 208. If you do not get past 208, I expect you to roll over and go lower. So we're going to put our markers here, because if she can't get past there, we're going to have a ribbon flip again of the bigger moving averages. They're beautifully, I'm talking about the 800, 600, 360. They're coming up to where they can flip and go bearish. Don't want to ride that train. So maybe a little de-risking might be in order as we come up. But it's going to break out to the upside, or you can play that card. But I'm just saying, that's a risky card to play with Bitcoin doing what Bitcoin's trying to do. This will be what I'm looking at. And let's say if I'm wrong and she does go and starts coming back to 218 and 225 and go to higher highs. Weird after making a lower low here that we would think that, but hey, man, maybe. Then I will just buy back in and wait for pullbacks. That would be the smart thing to do. The dumb thing to do is to chase it, or to ignore what it's telling us right now that, hey, man, we could be looking at 195 or lower after we get a little pump up this weekend. Just saying, these are possibilities. What are some of the other ones that ZBCN? Is that one doing something? Oh my God, are you for real? For the hour. Nah, you still down in the dirt. Still down in the dirt right there. But nice to see that some things move over here. We can see better if we come to the daily over here on the bubbles. And we can go to the top 100. M. What is that? Meme core. Never did get into that, but it's done better than I thought. We probably need to deep dive into that. Pump.fun still doing pretty good for the day and on the week. Up 9% on the week. Interesting. We're getting some plays over here. Need to add pump.fun. If we're showing some strength right now and the market's dropping, it's just, I'm not going to say those are the ones we need to get into, because I don't I see the influencers and everything say that a lot, and I've even played that narrative. But I don't find that that's very accurate. Like the ones that are showing strength when we have a drop, those are the ones to pay attention to. You know, they usually end up dropping, and then they're just the last ones to drop and go through the cycle for people sell iPhones. Honestly, what I see play out, the ones that were pumping the last time we dropped, are they the ones that won? You don't see that very often, but we'll pay attention to them, put them on the radar. I think it's worth saying that about them. But I wouldn't just blindly say, okay, those are the ones I'm going to go with, because that strategy doesn't seem to hold as much water as people put in, have for it at the time. I don't recognize any of these. I'm just going through looking for the bigger ones. Myth, what are you? I like to see what the charts look like overall, monthly or whatever. It's Peppy and Altura. We'll go figure you out. Guys, let me come over to the chat because I really haven't been there yet. I just wanted to get this Bitcoin information out because I know things are looking kind of hairy and scary right now. But we did see the signs that it was coming. It's just now that we got to face the music. That's what sucks about it. Shout out to Strega for being here. Strega's my OG. I think Strega's been here as long as I've been streaming. And that's been about 3 years now, I guess. A little over 3 years. Strega. My OG. You and I think Dave P. around the same time. Now there's Dave P. How's it going, Dave? And Sam. I haven't seen Sam as much lately. Sam was here. So shout out to you guys. And Brackish. There's Brackish. Dang old Bitcoin man. I know it, right? Ice God. Or Icy God. Back for some more crypto jams. Hope I'm not disappointing. We did some R&B in the background, and now we're on to the reggae, it sounds like. Melis Williams, just finished my good-ass coffee. It reminds me to take a sip. Got the real coffee right now because it's daytime. Makes more sense, right? I actually went to bed a little bit. I fell asleep a little bit earlier. I was I went to bed. Fell asleep and then woke up and then went to bed. It's easy to get too caught up in the markets. Let it adjust your lifestyle to something that gradually becomes more and more unhealthy. I find that to be true, not just for me, but for a lot of people here in this space. Easy to forget about that workout. Easy to put it off. Been doing that. Board PC God, just let me short all the way down and 200x long all the way back up. That's all I'm asking for. Oh, I wish it was that easy. If it just it has not given me a place to short good or to de-risk yet. It's just been try to scare everybody out, I think. Bracket says Crypto Savvy is bearish again. He's bearish all the time though. He's really good though. He's good at TA. If he didn't have his strong bearish bias, I would watch him a lot more because he knows the TA game, man. And actually, I got to give him credit. I would not have learned about Thomas Bukowski if it wasn't for him. I didn't learn it from my trading group mentor. He had no clue who Thomas Bukowski was, and you could tell that. I got turned on to Thomas Bukowski and Wyckoff through Crypto Savvy because somebody asked him a question, and he said, If you're trying to study it and learn what I know and all that, these are the people you need, the books you need to read, the things you need to study, and so I did. So a lot of what I do, and have learned and become, I got to give credit to Crypto Savvy, one of the bearish TA people in the game, and he loves to short. Now, you do want to follow him in a bear market because he's a short master, but he made the mistake last cycle of shorting the whole bull market. Okay, and so he lost a lot of credibility and a lot of respect for some people because he had a very strong bias. And he still has that. He's doing better. He's trying not to let it show, but when it was bearish, it comes out. You see what he really, really has been wanting to say all the time, right? He's a good dude. And I like him and I respect him. But he does have that bearish bias, and that will, if you got a strong bias, we can't trust your TA as much, right? I mean, I'm just saying, if we get too bullish or too bearish, we're leaning too much and possibly the wrong direction. So, but I would say he's probably on point right now because the bearish signs on the weekly did flip. Worth paying attention to. Mellis Williams, any plans for the holiday Monday? Is it a holiday Monday? Oh my gosh, I guess it is, right? Was it Labor Day, isn't it? Me, nothing, just staying home? Well, no, I have no plans. I forgot that it was even the holiday. Wow. Another thing about being stuck in a studio watching charts a lot. Kind of missing out on some of them holidays, which is sad, really. We should be at a point where we don't have to stand here and look at the charts and our investments and trades and oh man, let it dictate our moods and enjoyment of life and holidays. But I find that it does. Just being truthful about it, it does. It will interfere with family if you let it, even if you don't let it. If you make dumb decisions. Dr. Dog is in the house. Yeah, we got we're here to kind of diagnose what's going on. Try to see if we can find some good medicine. The only thing that I found that makes it seem more fun is a little hopium. Oh, we don't have hopium on the screen. Oh man, forgot which room that we're in. I guess someone else is dumping millions of Bitcoin again and slowly buying it back up. We'll probably see a lot of that since that one whale kicked it off. You know, a lot of people bought higher, right? A lot of the big money even bought higher up there. I'm sure that we will be back, but yeah, the games are a play. We are in a correction now. 800 moving average is a move. I'm hoping that it will stick on that 4 hour. Let's go back to that 4 hour. We'll still stay in this charts over here. This was disappointing though with the total 3 because that trend line, to me, I'd have to count this little section over here as the 3 hump and a dump. I guess maybe we could do that, but it really looked like it had some possibility to hopefully try to continue, especially everybody calling Uncle Ethan, right? But no, we didn't. We lost that trend line, and that's a big thing. We're coming back to the areas we've been at before, and I keep saying with these altcoins, they pump us up, but then they give us the gains right back. And even the ones that are still staying up there, I mean, we can't look at them. They'll stay there. They'll be okay. Maybe get lucky on a few of them, holding some areas. That's cool. But most likely not. Playing the same game we've been playing. We just never did get that higher high over here. And I hope we don't get a lower low out of altcoins. That would suck. But not making a higher high. Could be doing that. I'm going to adjust this trend line, and man, I can't capture it. You also see that stablecoin dominance is going up, and that's not a good. It's people coming out of the market, you know, selling out of Bitcoin and altcoins, going to stablecoin, but it's also new stablecoin coming in. So I can't really use this in the same way that I've used it before in the past. We can use it as a guide, but to use it as a definitive place for buying or selling and as a trigger, or, you know, we can use it more, I guess, as a momentum indicator. But it's still worth tracking the dollar stablecoin and all that. You should just track the dollar, but that got too out there. Too away from it. This is interesting to note. This PX, the Standard & Poor's 500, since we're looking at indices to help kind of figure out what the market's feeling on a Friday. It lost the trend line and then started, you know, running underneath it, which is technically a bump and run, or could be making an M top here. We could do this and say, oh, we just need to adjust our trend line. We can do that, and even though, well, I guess now it does have 3 touches, so that technically is valid, but so is this as a bearish retest and getting ready to roll over. It just means that if we're doing a trend line this way, it's respecting an angle. Breaking this trend line now would be not what you want to see in the rising triangle. But it's been making higher highs and higher lows, so until that happens, until we knock out this low, they still got hope that we can bounce next week on SPX. So that would also transfer over. That's probably good information for crypto. So I think we're going through a weekend scare again with the whales. I read this. You may not read it the same way, but when they do this, I read it as a sign of desperation, try to get that Bitcoin as cheap as they can. And if they can get it closer to $100,000, well, they will. So I think that we will see a lot of money come in right around the $100,000 area, maybe 105. They may front run it. It might go anywhere from 98 to 105. I think we'll see that big money come in the same way that we did last time. They're like, dang it, they fell for it again. Woo, thank you for your Bitcoin. Thank you for selling and shorting support and everything else that you're not supposed to do when we're diving down in the scary territory. That's what they think. I've got this idea over here with fib circles kind of pointing to dipping down till about 5th to next Friday, about another week of some slow jam burns down here to this area. That's what I put out several days ago is what I saw. I put it out in the group actually with the fib circles. And hopefully we got them lined up fairly decent here. That machine may be off just a hair. But right there, 4th, 5th, 6th in September. Next few days, within this next week, maybe the brunt of all this move will be over. If we got a measure move, that was from the double top there that could take us down. You've also got some support coming in, just a little bit lower. Now there's an idea. If we want to wick below this 800 moving average, which we can, doesn't mean that we hold here at this 800 moving average, all right? It's there, we can hold, but it doesn't mean that we can't wick down lower, all right? So if we do wick down, I mean, there might be a fast move down to 106 from here and then recover candle bodies back up to 800. We could see that. But you see all these moving averages are starting to close in on these bigger moving averages, the 800, 600. The 360 is up here. I'm still looking at that as being a possible range that we can be in, but the pressure is down. The pressure is down. Elliot, what you got to say over here on this particular chart? Oh man, Elliot, you're gonna make everybody click off. Taking us down to our possible buy area here, just right below 104. Elliot's got 109,731 area, or 103, 971 area is where Elliot's pointing to for this is the A, B, and that should be the C correction. It can still go lower, but hopefully that would be an area. Still, we got our 886 Fibonacci about 101. That's what I'm looking for if I'm looking at this M pattern as a harmonic, possible harmonic shape that we can bounce from there. So, interesting weekend for altcoins and Bitcoin as they look scary again. Yay! I guess my good reports are that I did make a bigger attempt to take more profits on the altcoins, especially the ones that were pumping up. Aave, that one did really good. Oh, come on, get off of here, Elliot. Everything's in an ABC correction, or most things on the 4 hours, you can see. And take that as a good sign. It's almost over. We already did our A, we got our B, now we're on our last leg trying to figure out our next bottom according to Elliott wave theory before we start the fun all over again with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to the upside, hopefully. So, I mean, these little things actually give me comfort. 299? Oh, you're not going to break 300, Aave? This one's been holding strong. I gotta say, Aave was up at 384, and my strategy that I taught. Ironic, because now you're seeing all these trading bots out here on KuCoin or whatever. Everybody's shilling the bots inside. It's similar to that, but you're doing it manually and not doing on as many freaking orders. But it's basically when we come down to certain areas, we're buying, and hopefully, I think the best way is to make your orders more intense the lower you go, and more shallow up here. Same thing selling, sell more as we start coming into here, a little light. But as the price goes up, you're getting paid, and as it comes down, you're buying and building the bag. And so now it is called a grid strategy, and it works good with spot margin. I do it manually. I guess you can use a bot, automate it for you, and a lot of people are having luck with that. I'm not affiliated with such a bot that does that. Matter of fact, I've got a bot that I bought many years ago, a really good one that I like. You can program it, and that's how I learned a lot about all these indicators and things before I actually learned how to draw the first line or really interpret, learn TA. If I'd known that when I was doing my bots, oh man, I know I could have cleaned up. I didn't know. I did this bass backwards. I learned bots before I learned my TA on how to program them bots. Not just following blindly other people. All right, so Aave. So I took a lot more profits over there. So my risk, I'm in good on these. My risk for spot margin on these bigger. And I made an effort to take profit on the other ones. If I needed to kind of cover any lower, smaller positions I got in other things, I've been able to take the profits from this and throw a few bucks over there to cover or whatever. And I haven't had to do that this time as much, and that's good. That's what I wanted to see happen with my altcoins. So hopefully, maybe that will stick as long as altcoins do. And I'm finally tweaking my little system, or maybe it's just because altcoins ain't falling that much because of this altcoin rally season, the ETH season. Technically, it's ETH season that we're in, even though it doesn't feel like it. Ethereum crapping the bed with another ABC correction. Elliot seems to think we can come down to 40 or 4,200, 4,000, or even 36. I'm just going to go ahead and go ahead and take a break, Elliot. We got this, baby. You're getting too bearish for some of these people. I'd like to come back to the daily here, and I just want to clear this out on the Ethereum. Look at that, nice. We need some horizontal lines right there for support. That's at 4,000, yeah, baby. Pretty cool. What happened here with Ethereum? She had a trend, then she faked us out. Bear trap. What happens after a bear trap? After a real bear trap, where you have a nice solid trend line, break out and get back in the trend line. It even came back down for the retest, scared everybody, and then shot up. That's what we want to see when we get these little guys. That's why I look for these little guys. That's why you see me go back and trace the actual trend line that we start with and everything, so that I can identify these bear trap ideas. If you come to it and you're just going to just draw the lines as it is, oh, touch here. I mean, you got a valid trend line, but you're missing out on so much information that it gave you right here. Whether you're coming into this fresh or not. All right, so we got that. She coming back up, man. She made a higher high over here, but not now, not anymore. What do you look like on the 4-hour over here, Elliot? All these moving averages flipping it over here, got all bullish, and now we just come back and just come down and see where we touch. 200 moving averages here at 41. My favorite thing to do at such a place as this is to pull my fibs out. Now, bouncing here would be beautiful, but it is highly likely that we could come down to 36. And still be very, very bullish on Ethereum. Deeper correction there. Elliot, do you agree? Yes, he does agree. You got that as a 1618, so however he's figuring it out, I think he's probably, I don't know. Elliot Wave uses Fibonacci too, just not the same way that I do all the time. So 41 area, 40,000, 4,100 area, $4,000 area. We could possibly find some support there and carry on our merry way. But if we confirm an M top here with a little bit of a higher top there, we might actually see somewhere around 31. I like to draw me a trend line. And I like what this trend line says from where we started right back here to there. 36. And that's still bullish. Those intersect around 4th of September. Kind of goes with our fib cycle lines. But let's see. Can we get those? What do they say over here? Our time cycles, I mean. Where the hell did I find you? Why am I not finding you now? Oh gosh darn it. I may not be able to find what I want to find over here. I think I passed you up. For real? Yeah, I don't see you here anymore. I see Gan. May not be able to do the... Oh, here we are. Time cycles. It's the time cycles. And I want to take you from one bottom. Let's take you to the next bottom here. So I lined up my bottom here locally. Timed it with this bottom here. And it's making us a suggestion saying that right here, right around Friday, September 5th, did this last time we did this on Bitcoin too. I didn't do it on the 4 hour or that bottom. That might be when we hit that. We'll keep this idea going here because these could be some helpful tools we're testing out that can give us some information to help us in the future too. A lot of things saying we're down for another week, and then maybe. We also got this trend line here. I don't want to negate this because we haven't broken that one yet, right? This one's still holding. 200 moving averages coming under there. But if it's counting the waves, now I don't think it is because it's not on the same trend line. You know, the 1, 2, 3 humps in a dump. But it's levels, right? It's really levels. And it's a shortcut to look at Elliott Wave, and he is counting that. And even though your 1 and 2 look really, really off to me, Elliott. If we can bounce here, maybe we can get a better 3 and 5 wave to the upside. But the news has not come in terrible for Ethereum yet. Let's say that, remember, and it is East season. So there's a chance that we can bounce here. This is an ABC correction, but we might be bouncing somewhere at 42. Haven't broken trend line. Lose the trend line, look for 36 being possible. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 13 people hanging out with me. Let me come over and say hello to you guys because I think I pretty much looked at everything. Can you check out I think we did. We did look at that bracket. Okay, so I'm just late getting to the game. Finding that. Justin Makasek says 1076 was a big liquidation level. We're going up for at least a relief for I hope so. That's what I'm looking for. Now liquidity is clearly above. Hopefully. Oh man, what's it? Okay, we ate through that. Good. It looks like we're trying to come up there, and that's about 109, 110, kind of where we're looking at. I would love to see. Man, where's all of it at 120? Love to see us go back to 120, but I guess everybody would, right? If it was that easy, everybody would be millionaires. Like we couldn't be able to afford to pay and make everybody millionaires. That'd be them giving up theirs. I've been looking for this. I put this post-it note. I'm trying to short from 115 to 118, but we just didn't get up there. So now I'm having to look for shorts on up to that 110 to 113 now. It is. And I'm mostly on spot margin for me, and I'll do some perpetual futures that way too. But it's me de-risking or managing my spot margin. Back to the chat. Justin says, I'm watching POCs and value areas to see if we can keep bumping into the volume ranges. Looking good for the last 15 minutes. I didn't pull one of those dudes. I don't usually, it's a good tool. I just don't use it as part of my big strategy. But it is a good tool. I find my fibs kind of identify a lot of the same areas. But a lot of people have a lot of success about it and helps them. I can't even pull it up. Am I not getting the right one? Fixed range volume profile. You're not showing up over here. You got no volume. I'm on. Oh, okay. I'm on the crypto. I'm not on the one that has volume on it. We gotta go to a different chart. Crazy how that works. And that was Ethereum. What are you saying about Bitcoin? I guess we can come over here. If I can find a chart that. We'll use this one where we put the fractal on it. I was wondering why that wasn't showing up. So value, yeah. So point of control. So from this move that we got here, from the low of 98, pulling that section there. Point of control at 110, 9. And if we can get back into it, I mean that's the lower value, the lower area. The lower, whatever. This little guy, the lower value. The point of control is the red line. That's at 117, which I would love to get back to. Been hoping we'd do it. We only did it last Friday when they pumped us up there, and we haven't seen it since. So I've been disappointed not to see that area come back in the. But you know that qualified for what we needed. I would love to see us get back up there though. So that's hopeful. Let me see if we pull it from down here at 70-something thousand where we are. What does that look like? We're at the very top of that one, so that's probably what you're talking about, Justin. And point of control is down here at 94. If we lose this area, if we come back into this area, which is where we're at right now, we can bounce out. Hopefully that's what we do with the 800 moving average and get back into this range. But if not, I mean, technically we're also back in this range. And that could be an argument for coming down and testing these little bottom areas that we were over here, where we ranged sideways so much right through here. It wasn't fun then, but at least it wasn't down here where we did go. That definitely wasn't fun. What time is it? It's 6:19. Hey, there's me, Damien. How's it going, me, Damien? Road Dog, how do you get your Fibonacci to give you negative numbers as well? The negative numbers. Those are on my extensions. And so you're talking about these over here, the ones that are above it. I mean, they're mirroring. Now, one thing that I do different, I got a negative 0.027 and not 272. I have first seen somebody do that. It's technically it's 272. That is your mathematical number, the square root of pi. But I'm just putting them. I mean, over here you're just entering them in. If that's what you're asking, I'm putting a negative and then 0 point, and I'm putting my fibs. I'm using the same ones, but I'm not using a negative 236. I don't use that, because I'm not doing a mirror image. I mean, it's kind of like a mirror image of what we got going over here, right? But I'm not using the same exact. I'm using the ones that match up with my harmonics, and that's mathematical, and that's why it's the 0.272 and not the 0.236. The 382, the negative 414, they all are the math, but the 236 is not the right one that I'm looking for when I'm looking for an extension. That's why you don't see me use that. Some people do. Now I do use the 2.236 or sometimes, yeah, 2.236. I'll use that. But to get the negatives, it's up there. And let's see if I can explain this. Let's say this is our price. That little line there, we're measuring from bottom to top, right? Well, we can do the fib extensions. There's two different ways to look at it. And so we got different ways to use fibs and different schools of thought, right? So if price were to go up here and we use our 3-point extensions and say it comes back to our 618, we got this little guy to give us extensions. A lot of people do that and they'll get some different stuff, right? But to get these numbers that I got up here, the reason it makes sense is because it uses the same way that we use in harmonics, and the way that they get the numbers to work out right is when you take your ABC, your actual extension tool, the 3-point one, top, bottom, and then all the way back down to 0, all the way back down, and then you get the alignment. Do you see that? So the negatives line up with my 1.272 pulls. It's just as if I'm doing this. It's exactly as if I'm doing this, but it would be taking, it would only give you the same results where I'm using this technique of pulling my extensions from bottom to top all the way back to bottom. That's how these numbers correspond. Whereas the other way to use this tool is to bring it back so the price went up and it come back down for a dip, right? I mean, the other school of thought on how to use these, and it's valid. It's valid. It's just got different rules to go by, or different guidelines to go by. Pull it back down here, and you know, that's where the numbers come from, if that makes sense. And that's why I use them, so I can have a shortcut way to do that. But it's also going to be a little different depending on how you're going to read that, because let me get another example here. So if I pull my fibs from high to low here, I can get them, right? I get my 113s. And so for my higher high targets, yeah, I can get them. But if I really, really want to start finagling things, oh, I'm trying to show a good example. It's not happening. We would be doing from the high to the low lows, and then I get my normal ones that I also have over there. But this should be a little bit more accurate doing it this way to get those extensions than if I were to where was it here? Is that what we did? Oh my gosh. Did I do that? Oh man. That wasn't what I did. I think I just did the same thing. I just think I just confused everybody right there. This works pretty decent. This works pretty decent, but you can get more accurate if you're actually pulling from the swings. If this was an AB equals C to the correction, doing my bit from here for my higher targets would be a little bit more accurate. Hopefully the first part kind of answered more of your questions and started getting a little bit off there on the end. I remember Bitcoin in September 2017. It was a brutal drop from 4,000 to 3,000, 25% drop. And if Bitcoin does that this year, it would take us to a low of $90,000. It's possible. It is possible, but man, would that slow down our bull cycle? It's already been slowed down enough anyway. So I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing us lose that much momentum at this point in the game. Brackett says, I can't wait for the bear market. I'm going to take out a second, third mortgage and get more Ethereum and BTC. You know, my plan for the bear market, I don't really want to think about buying Bitcoin until about a year after the top. That's historically right around the best places. And last time I was DCing in from 30,000 all the way down to the 15. But I'm going to make myself wait. I'm going to make myself wait before I start getting in. And I'm going to focus mostly on Bitcoin. And I did this last time, but the one thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to use my Bitcoin as collateral. That's the big screw up that I've done. It's really sucked all the Bitcoin that I bought really cheap. It's really just sucked it out, using it as collateral against altcoins. And I should have known better because of Bitcoin dominance, and not in the right place to do that. It is right now. It's in some pretty decent places now to think about doing it, but still not the perfect place. Probably going to catch out my 401k and putting the Bitcoin on Coinbase. And or you could just transfer it over. Perhaps you can transfer it over to like iTrust. And then you can avoid any kind of tax stuff. I'm just saying. You might want to look at that. iTrust is pretty cool. I need to go check on my account there because it's up a lot from what little I put in a few years ago. I haven't put anything else in there lately. I need to. Is it crazy that we're all in the market this long and more of us aren't millionaires yet? I think about that too. If you have a paid trading group, you can be a millionaire. They're the ones that are really pulling it off. Bradley Downs, those bubbles look like my bank budget app, but with more green. The crypto bubbles. I like the crypto bubbles. They're helpful just to kind of. And here we are, still holding on the 1 hour. Makes me think how are we looking on Bitcoin on the smaller time frames? We still holding this area, 800 moving average on the 4 hour. We still holding that. I don't like these bearish crosses I'm seeing over here though. I don't like it. Starting to get the 200 across the 360. So a little relief rally, kind of like what Justin was saying. I agree with that. Here on the 15-minute, yeah, we're starting to see that reaction. I like to watch it on the 6-minute. Just still haven't made that higher high. That's what we're looking for. Pop through here and take out these highs. And then maybe we'll start trying to work our way back up. For a temporary. Pulse keeps going up. Like Polygon? It's 24. That's a nice little area to bounce on the little Lucy line right there. I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not, Strega. But I like seeing that one caught up. You know, on my iTrust account, I made a mistake of buying a bag of this. Probably back when it was around 70 cents, thinking it was a good deal on it. At the time, almost 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And because that was hot. The layer 2 last cycle until we got new technology, and now this one's outdated unless they can do something new on Polygon-O-Matic, and they might. I hope they do. But I mean, you can't go into a bear market or even be in a bear market thinking you're going to play last cycle's altcoins, because things change too damn much, unless it's one of the big layer 1s like Ethereum or Solana. But who wanted to touch Solana at $8? A lot of us were like, ugh, oh, Solana's dead. There ain't nothing happening. FTX and all that stuff happening. Solana was the bastard child of the industry at that point in the game. When it didn't start really turning around to it, she got back up to $18, $20. We're like, well, there might be something here. Don't want to miss this. Let's nibble a little. James from Invest answers are right. Solana being a real strong one to look for. I don't know if it's going to outdo Ethereum. My theory has always been, and I've said this whole time I've been streaming, that the big boys, the big money has been in Ethereum for a long time, and they came up with a narrative. They've already made their plans for what they want to do with Ethereum. They're going to do it, so you can't fade Ethereum. And I know all the hate was for Ethereum, but that's where your legacy plays. When they're bringing the stock market over, they want something proven and tried and true. And I'm sure Solana will get some of that, but Ethereum's definitely going to get the brunt of it, at least starting out, in my personal opinion. So for stock tokens and all that, look for them to be more on Ethereum than Solana. At least for a cycle or two, anyway. That they start establishing all that. Turkey, your mic is not just it's taking over your mouth. So I know, and it's because I hear myself when it's close to my mouth and it gets in front of my face. I know. I still got to work with this. My microphone settings and everything. It gets on my nerves too. I'm one of those that keeps adjusting the microphone all the time now, seems like. I didn't want to be that guy, but well, I guess technically I'm that turkey. No refunds. Strega says, I used to short all-time highs, but I've taken a break from leverage trading. Not a bad idea. I've, I was doing really good. I was doing good in my leverage trades, and I got on a few and held them too long and started giving back, and now I'm like, oh man. So I've got to build those bags up a little bit. Again, lost a few thousand overall. And in some altcoin trades, which are, there's still within acceptable levels, kind of, but for as much as people are hyping this as being altcoin season, I mean, I just don't see how everybody's just not disappointed and just say altcoin season one more time, just say it one more time. Just Come on, say it. 10 minutes altcoin season. One more time. Because they all don't pop off, and that's the I can't bring up the chart, the little cheat sheet thing over here on this screen. But the way that the money flows into altcoins, I mean, Ethereum first, and then layer ones, and as it's flowing into those layer one, some of those top projects like your DeFi, like real world assets. I think they still it's not caught on yet. It will, still early, but DeFi, that's what your big boys are looking at. They want some of that. They saw DeFi happen last cycle, and they're like, oh, we got to get with Gary, put a halt on this, because we want this. Gary, go after them crypto companies. We can't let them get the leg up. We got to get our claws in first. And that's what, in my personal opinion, that's what they're doing. And they're just waiting for the green light. And then we'll have stocks on DeFi, pools, liquidity pools. There'll be all these different ways. I mean, it's going to be amazing. And you're going to start seeing the legacy market coming over to crypto, right? You're going to be able to trade the regular stock. We're going to have worthwhile projects over here. It may not even be blockchain projects, but we're still going to have all the little stupid projects in crypto we're going to change the world, trying to get all that liquidity. But I think we're going to be moving away from all that risky stuff unless it's actually solid technology with solid tokenomics of a coin that does something. And we're just a governance token. We represent it, but we don't really do anything. But you doing it gives us the developers lots of money to buy new Lambos. So thank you for buying our coin. That's sadly what we really are in right now. So I think we're seeing the shift away from that more to actual application in the real world. And it's going to be coming through a lot on Ethereum. It will be. And maybe Solana, they'll try to branch it off into Avalanche and some of the other, top layer one coins. I hope they do a lot on Cosmos since it's so interoperable. That would be great. But Ethereum is going to be the queen of I still think it's going to be the queen of the big league DeFi, in my personal opinion. We'll see how that pans out. Hey, there's Joe from Trade Intuition. How's it going, Joe? I don't mean to ruffle the feathers. I ain't got no feathers. I ain't got a pecker either. This turkey needs a big old pecker. Really, I wouldn't mind having a big old gonzo pecker. Just a big old gonzo, just... All right, anyway. All right, guys, so the 10 people here, and I pretty much just went over what I was trying. Oh, look, we're making a little bouncy here. A little bouncy. Oh, it looks better. It's still not made our higher high, though. Come on now. Signs here in the 6 minutes. Hey, we've got at least a shot to try to make some higher highs and higher lows out of this, but I would draw you a little fancy little bottom pattern here. We could be trying to make something bigger, and we can also be still slow walking our way down. Come up, come down, come up, come down. All right, guys. But we are finding some local support, and that's what we're trying to do. Find the local support and not freak out. Find places where you can de-risk and come up to make lower highs and then possibly take some shorts at those lower highs, right? Suggesting 111 in that area, 110, 111. See what we get up there. We're not as likely to make higher highs, like getting above 113 with what's going on in the market now. We are on a downward trend. So getting above these highs, that's something to look at, but we can't expect, I'm going to put my order in here. You got to front run it. So it's your 786s and 886 retracements as we come up to them are the places that you'd be looking for shorts, and maybe in your 618s, all right? Because that's the thing. You'll hear me say that. 618, a lot of people trying to short there. I'm sure we'll see that now. And any areas that we get up through here. So 112, 112.2, 112.8, that would be a blessing. That would be a lower high. And right at 111.200 is where 618. That's where a lot of the bots and everything, and a lot of traditional traders will be trying to catch a little short to the downside. Me too, hopefully. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you tonight. Thanks for hanging out, and we just take it for what we got in this glorious altcoin season. They've been calling every month since January. It's February. How's it working out? See you tonight, guys. Have a good one.
A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that Bitcoin made me smile. And I knew if I had my chance, I could make those altcoins dance, and maybe I'd be moonbound for a while. But August lows made me shiver with every dip the charts deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. So bye-bye, Bitcoin bull run vibes. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of Heidel? Do you have faith in the Satoshi gospel? If the white paper tells you so, do you believe in pump and dump and trade and save your mortal rump? And can you teach me how to short real slow? Well, I saw the market's cruel twist as profits vanished in the mist. The charts turned cold and gray. Fear crept in to stay. So bye-bye, Bitcoin bull run vibes. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. I was a lonely teenage Bronson buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck. But I knew I was out of luck. The day the bull run died, FOMO lit my fire, greed stoked the flame. Now I'm counting losses, singing bearish shame. Uncertainty looms like a storm's dark tide. Is the top a memory or a hope denied? So bye-bye, Bitcoin bull run vibes. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Helter-skelter in a summer swelter, the birds flew off with a fallout shelter. 8 miles high and falling fast, it landed foul on the grass. The players tried for a forward pass with the jester on the sidelines in a cast. Now the halftime air was sweet perfume while the sergeants played a marching tune. We all got up to dance, oh, but we never got the chance. So bye-bye, Bitcoin bull run vibes. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
See you tonight, everybody. Good night.